What is service of process, and how do I know if I've been served? Brought to you by yourlegallegup.com, your advantage if you're being sued by debt collectors. When someone sues you, they usually file the suit in court and then have to get the suit to you in some way. Getting the suit to you officially is called service of process. Process is the summons. That's what technically gives the court its jurisdiction. Service is giving you the summons. A court does not constitutionally have jurisdiction over you, does not have power to impose a judgment upon you until you've been served correctly. So, what is correct service of process? The gold standard, you might say, for service is for someone to come up to you and say, "Are you John Doe? Here," and place the complaint in your hand. It does actually happen more or less that way most of the time. You'll get the knock at the door, and when you open it, there's a process server. When they give you the complaint, you have been served. In fact, when they offer you the complaint, you've been served, and it doesn't matter whether you take it or not. Don't bother trying to refuse service. There are no magic words that counter the spell of being served. It's just a legal fact that means the court will take power over you. And make no mistake, it will take power over you. What if someone else answers your door and they hand that person the complaint? You'll need to check your own state's rules to see if the person offered the complaint was able to accept service. As a general rule, related adults living in the place are, but children and unrelated people or non-residents are not able to accept service. But check your state's rules on service, and this is very important. What if they call out to you on the street and start running towards you and you run away? I'd be inclined to say you weren't served, but this is going to be tricky because the process server will almost certainly swear that they did serve you. And even if they didn't, you'll probably need to dispute it in court. So I suggest that you get a lawyer for this one. It matters how you bring your challenge to service, which is called a motion to quash service. It may matter whether you go to court at all for it, and the law on these things is unclear enough to justify hiring an attorney, in my opinion. On the bright side, though, you can hire just any lawyer, not necessarily a debt lawyer, to dispute service. It's a narrow question and not an open-ended representation, so you can probably do it for much less money than hiring a lawyer to represent you in the underlying case. Most trial lawyers will know enough about disputing service to handle your claim, your motion to quash. But you'll have to be very clear about what you want the lawyer to do to make sure that representation stays limited. I want to point out that in discussing service of process here, I have been speaking only about what's called pure personal jurisdiction, that is, the power of the court over your person. I am not talking about jurisdiction over things, such as apartment evictions or foreclosures. In those situations, the rules can be very different. In apartment evictions, for example, the court technically can take jurisdiction over the apartment. If someone tacks a notice on your door, at least here in Missouri that's true, anyway, they could evict you from the apartment on that basis, even though without jurisdiction over you personally, they couldn't make you pay back rent. The law can be weirdly technical that way. So don't use anything in this video to apply to those situations where possession of property is involved. Remember, if you want to challenge service of the suit on you, you can't just file an answer to the lawsuit. In fact, you may not be able to answer it at all without waiving or letting go your challenge to jurisdiction over you. That's because answering the case suggests you'll let the court handle the dispute. If you want to quash service, it's the first order of business, and doing anything else might keep you from being able to do that. If you try but fail to quash service, you'll be given time to answer this lawsuit then, so you won't have lost anything by trying to quash it. Helping people protect their rights is what we do. Protect what's yours and don't let the debt collectors rip you off. Take action to protect yourself from the debt collectors and help others do the same. Please like this video, share it with anybody you think could use it, subscribe, and comment, as all these things help others find our materials. YourLegalLegUp.com